Content warning, y'all. We have lots of fun making this podcast, but remember, we watch a lot of R-rated films, use language that reflects that, and joke about heavy topics to create levity around these themes. If that doesn't feel safe or could be triggering, please take care of yourself. We want you to have fun listening too. This also means we might not be suitable for children. Oh yeah, and we spoil the end of all the movies we pod about. Thanks for listening.
So it's an episode of Wings, is what you're saying?
And she asks if he wants to go to a Pearl Jam concert, and he's like, I love Pearl Jam. And Lowell overhears, and he's like, Pearl Jam? Maybe Pearl Bailey. And he just starts laughing, and it's like not funny at all, but it's funny because it's Lowell.
Correct.
You know? It's Thomas Hayden Church.
THC.
Wait, yeah, I said it right. I fucking love Wings.
You said it
Wings
normal.
isn't funny, and I love it. I love it.
Speaking of a tragedy, Steven Weber, am I right?
Oh God, remember The Perfection?
I do.
Oh God, that was. I mean, I liked The Perfection. I enjoyed. I don't want to say I enjoyed it. It was a movie. It was
Super
not.
uncomfortable.
But yeah, I was like, seen that already. But it was in focus when I saw it.
Anyway, we're talking about
Today we're
the
talking
TV version of The Shining, starring Steven Weber.
No.
Again.
But before we get started on what we are talking about, we have a Patreon that you can subscribe to.
Oh my God, we have 2 patrons.
Yeah,
now.
we
God
have
bless.
2 patrons. We love you both so much.
Kisses.
Yeah, kisses, peepees. We have 2 patrons, and it's awesome. We love having patrons.
I only just set up banking information, so now we can withdraw the $28.
Because I have my own private Patreon, and I had it for like almost a year before I realized that I hadn't actually set it up to get payments,
right.
and I just didn't realize that and I had like a bunch of money stored. I mean, a bunch of money. I had like 3 patrons like my first like 6 months, and then like it went up.
Brag.
But I was like, why am I not getting paid? And it was like, you have money, and it's not going to your account. You have to set up your
It's strange
information.
that they let you do that. Like, why is that not part of
I
the...
had set it up. I just didn't. I don't think I clicked like how it should get to me.
Right.
So it was like, I don't know what to. It was like, and so
but still weird.
Yeah.
That they let you do that.
Anyway, we have a Patreon, and you can subscribe to it for $1, $3, or $5 a month, and you can get early access to.
And someday I'll get better
podcast.
about doing it.
And you get special exclusive episodes, little mini-sodes.
You get our unmentionables.
Yeah. And those are way more willy-nilly. Those are just about whatever. And if you have something that you want us specifically to watch for an unmentionable, we're like probably gonna do that before we would do that.
Especially if it's sorry.
It's okay.
Especially if it's post 9/11. By which I mean any time after the year 2000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Outside of the purview or before 1980.
Yeah. I mean,
Z doesn't believe in film before 1980, but
the only thing that I will watch pre-80s like repeatedly and without is
pornography.
No, absolutely not. Alien, because that's like 79. Oh, and no, I don't even like Star Wars. I don't even like the 70s Star Wars. I fucking hate the first one. A New Hope. Ugh, fucking hate that movie. It's so fucking boring. I think A New Hope is so boring.
Yeah.
It's the one I like the least out of all of them. That one, and what's the one with where
With Jar Jar?
No. The one that doesn't have Jar Jar in it, I think. Like, I don't know, the final one. The Phantom Menace or whatever. No, that's the first one. The third one. The third one of the quote-unquote prequels. Because it's Phantom Menace, Clone Wars, and Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith, I think, is what it's called. And it's not good. It's not good. I don't like that one.
Somehow Palpatine survived.
Anyway.
In the Northeast.
Anyway,
somehow Palpatine survived.
We'll probably never do an unmentionable or I mean, when I say probably, I will never.
I don't want to ever do a Star Wars.
We're never gonna do a podcast about Star Wars. So you can. That's something that is guaranteed on this podcast. But this week,
Z has watched every single Star Wars film and read every novel and watched all the animated adaptations. Played all the video games.
Nope, none of that is true.
I've played most of the Star Wars video games, honestly.
I haven't seen the one that's like Suicide Squad Star Wars or whatever it's called. Or Solo.
No, that's what it's called.
It's called something. It's called
Rogue One or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't watched.
A Star Wars story.
Yeah, I haven't watched that. Everyone says it's really good, which makes me not want to watch it.
Right.
I'll only watch a movie if you say it sucked. Anyways, patreon.com/ZNKpod. And that's Instagram.com/ZNKpod if you want to follow us and give us some likes, because I put so much work into those fucking posts, and
They're so good.
Thank you.
And please, just comment on there. Tell us where we should promote the episode.
Yeah.
We don't get any help.
Yeah. Link
we don't
us.
Know where to
click some, tell us where to go. Tell us promote it on, and then
it's real simple. Just say promote it on, and then put a link.
Yeah, or tag another account that has nothing to do with anything that we would do. And especially if to promote it, we would have to pay money because we're full of cash. We're flush with cash. Anyway,
shout out to John Ralphio Simperstein or whatever. What is their last name?
I think Samperstein.
Samperstein,
something like that. Anyway, ampersand. Yeah. Anyway, for this week,
I think it's clear by this point we're talking about Die Hard 2.
Merry Christmas.
A
New Hope. For this episode, Keith decided to jump off of the bed and bust his knee. So if you hear any rattling, it's just because there's a bag of
battling.
If you hear any rattling, it's just because there's a bag of frozen vegetables on Keith's knee.
Currently, it's green beans.
Ooh.
French cut.
Ooh, shit. Fancy. Shishi.
That's on you. You demand the French cut. You demand it.
It's true. I like French cut. I don't like... Yeah, whatever. I don't need to... Here's why I like the French cut. Frozen green beans better.
Welcome to Frozen, the grocery pod.
Anyway, he'll cut that out. He'll cut that out. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't want to get a copyright strike.
Okay, so Die Hard. Everyone talks about Die Hard being a Christmas movie. Everyone debates whether or not it's a Christmas movie. Obviously, it is because it happens over Christmas. So,
okay, but is it a sandwich?
No. And then, but I thought it would be, Keith was like, let's do Die Hard 2. And I thought, oh, yeah, that's interesting because Die Hard 2 is, so I wasn't planning on doing it for Christmas, but then we watched it. It's like a straight up Christmas movie. Like everything's Christmas.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it would make no sense to not have this on actually Christmas. So.
Oh, I see.
So I was like,
okay.
Yeah, let's have it on Christmas. Anyway.
Sorry, The Matrix.
If August
Spoiler.
is planned, that's what we had last week.
Yeah. Spoiler. That's what you heard already.
Yeah. If that gets fucked up, then who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what you listened to last week?
And I guess. Yeah. Anyway.
So. Yeah.
This movie is only 2 hours 4 minutes long. I just looked at it. It feels twice as long.
We paused halfway through to get. I made myself something to eat, and Keith went to the store really quick
because I wanted to start drinking.
And
it was too far in,
and it was
for me to still be sober. And
I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe I want to wait until the end of the movie And then he paused it, and we had half of the movie left, and we were both like, what the fuck?
Yep.
I'm like, this movie isn't over yet? I guess...
I'm still not sure it's ended.
That's fair. Honestly, like, this movie was both amazing and terrible.
Yeah.
There was, like... It was, like, boring.
Right.
It was really boring. And I didn't care about anything.
Correct.
But, like, the stuff that happened in it was hilarious. Like, the kills, the fights, the just ridiculous bullshit. Hilarious.
Oh,
it was hilarious. But, like, it was also awful. Like, it made no sense. Yeah. It's very clear that they were like, how do we replicate the first movie in the worst way possible? And then they were like, I got it.
Yeah, you can tell that
it was a success in that way.
You can tell that they were definitely responding to the sort of surprise success of the first one, right? Mm-hmm. And like trying to turn every single aspect of it up.
Apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently in the first Die Hard, there was only like 1 or 2 one-liners said. And Bruce Willis
had
ad-libbed them. And so, because of the success of it, they just told him to go hog wild in this one. And so that probably explains why nothing ever makes any sense.
Correct.
Where's the door? What the fuck are you talking about? You had to explain that to me. I was like, what?
It explains his dialogue, but not everybody else's fucking one-liners. But I guess, I mean, it does seem like I saw other things saying that, like, oh, this line was improvised by this actor. Mm-hmm. It seems to be like it was fairly encouraged across the board. But
this movie opens pretty hardcore. It opens with
it just starts.
It starts, yeah. There's no credits, but it's just William Sadler's ass in a hotel room.
Yeah.
For like an extended period of time. No complaints from me. You'll hear no complaints from me.
No, nor I.
He has a visible tan line though. Very visible tan line.
Didn't notice.
But
couldn't be bothered. Distracted.
I guess you weren't looking at his body like I was. I fucking love William Sadler. William Sadler, I feel like, is an extremely underrated actor.
Oh yeah.
He's so good. He's
even though he's the fucking prime villain in this movie, he still feels underutilized.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, villain is usually fairly two-dimensional.
Yeah.
But credit to the first Die Hard and Rickman, of course, crushed it.
Yep. Yeah.
Everybody knows the name Hans Gruber.
It's true.
Nobody knows Sadler's name. What is it?
I
still don't remember.
Uh-huh.
There's so many names.
General or Colonel or something, something.
I saw in the trivia that his first name in the script is William.
Wow. It's imaginative.
Just like William Sadler.
The line where she's like, it's the 90s, microchips.
Honey, it's the 90s, remember? Microchips, microwaves, faxes, airphones.
Hey, well, as far as I'm concerned, progress peaked with frozen pizza.
Remember, it's the 90s.
I know, I'm like, what?
Which is great because this film came out in 1990, so they were probably filming this in 1989.
Also, but the old lady with the taser.
Yeah.
Just takes it out and was like, I used it on my dog. Jesus.
He lived another week or whatever it was.
No, she said he was in a coma for a week.
Oh.
Or something like that. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I used to carry around those awful mace things. Now, I zap any bastard that screws with me. I tried it on my little dog. Poor thing limped for a week.
Also, okay, the plot of this movie is nonsensical. I'll try to explain it a little bit, but it's like it's just like literally
unnecessarily convoluted.
Try to take over the airport and succeed. And
they don't take over the airport per se.
Well, they take over the air control.
Correct.
Or something.
That I thought was an interesting aspect that wasn't done well.
Correct.
But
so I like everything else in this film.
Correct, yeah. Anyway, go on.
And there's a criminal drug dealer or some shit that's coming to the U.S. and they just want him
He's
to
a
be
deposed dictator.
Okay. I thought he was a drug dealer. I thought they kept whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting this and
No,
Prime Suspect confused.
And what?
I said maybe I'm getting this and Prime Suspect confused. I'm like, he sold cigarettes,
No.
right? No.
Those crooked Serbian cigarette salesmen. Prime Suspect 5. 6.
6, yeah.
No, so
but like they're just trying to take over the airport to get to free him.
Like every stereotype about a Latin American country.
Esperanza's fall from power caused ripples not only in his country's recent election, but closer to home as well, when high-ranking Pentagon officials were charged with supplying him with weapons despite the congressional ban. But mounting evidence that Esperanza's forces violated the neutrality of neighboring countries made Congress withhold funds which Esperanza is accused of replacing by going into the lucrative business of cocaine smuggling.
And it's just literally them just trying to get, like, the dictator's plane's going to land, so they take over air control, so they can say, like, when he lands, we're going to take him.
He's being extradited to the U.S. to face charges.
It doesn't.
No. But none of it matters, right? That's the point. Doesn't matter what.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It just so happens, by coincidence, John McClane is at Dulles Airport.
This is my favorite like trope that like this New York cop or whatever the fuck, LA New York cop is.
Wait, I just put together, why is he in D.C.?
Because that's where his in-laws are. So.
But why is he there and Holly Gennaro isn't yet?
Because he went there with the kids first, and her flight got delayed or something.
Yeah, all right.
It's forced.
Nakatomi.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like stupid. It's just like a way for them to create drama around an airplane in an airport, really. And it's just, and all the planes that are supposed to land can't because they've taken over air control and knocked all the power out. And so all these planes are just like floating in the air around them, and they like can't see anything, and magically, and Cole Meany shows up and they tell him to land, but they like change his altitude.
Cole Meany doing a British accent.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you've probably noticed, we've started our descent. We're sorry for the inconvenience, but we'll all be on the ground in a few minutes. Thank you.
And they change the altitude, so he thinks like he's landing the plane. He thinks that sea level or land level or something is like way lower than it actually is. So he just like full on bashes the fucking plane into the runway.
All right, he would have, except for John McClane gets out on the runway and lights a match, and so
and then he blows the plane up anyway.
Yeah, but you know, it would have been a full-on nosedive if McClane hadn't been there.
I don't think so.
Doesn't matter because everyone dies.
Yeah, everyone dies.
He doesn't save him.
My favorite part was when they my favorite part of the movie I mean, maybe not my absolute favorite, but one of my absolute favorite, next to William Sadler's ass, was when Bruce Willis is in the abandoned airplane. And they just throw in like 20 grenades.
Yes.
And then he just like he gets in like the pilot seat, and as the grenades explode, he hits the pilot eject, and he just like flies out of the fucking cockpit and then parachutes down, which none of that would, whatever.
Also, I don't think those kinds of planes have that. I think that's just jet fighters that have that kind of mechanism.
Oh, yeah, probably. Well, I don't
larger planes like that, I don't think it makes sense.
Well, that one, it was shown to be like, it was like a smaller plane. It was like
it's the plane that they're transporting the dictator in, right?
So it was like a military plane.
Yes.
So I'm not saying that they do or don't have it. I feel like it's more believable because the military would do something weird like that. That's all.
But those don't have like compare and contrast with.
I know what you're saying. I almost said I know what you're doing.
I want to say this for the record, not just for you.
Oh.
Fighter planes have the kind of cockpit that moves back.
Right.
Compared to Top Gun, where cockpit blows off. That's part of the eject mechanism.
Yeah.
Larger planes don't have that. It's a fixed thing. There's no, what are you shooting through?
Right.
Just through the roof?
No, you're shooting through the broken glass from the explosion of the 20 grenades.
Yeah, right. Yeah. My favorite too is my favorite part of that. One of my
you got
a thing I liked about that sequence too is that they're all. First of all, Sadler's like, "How many grenades do we have?"
Right.
And some guys out of frame is like 3 each. Okay. And then so they all just start chucking grenades through the broken windshield of the plane. Mm-hmm. But it's also like anyone you see tossing a grenade doesn't look like they give a shit where it goes or like they're aiming at all. And it's a smaller cargo plane, but this is a long distance that you're going to have to throw a tiny object through into place, and you'll be safe. But then you see Bruce Willis inside, and they're just like, blink, 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 blink. They're all falling in, no problem. All 21 grenades or whatever. I'm like, no one missed?
If they did, they just went and picked it up and threw it back.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's... Okay, this was basically my number one when it started, and, like, he sees, like, people doing things that he thinks are suspicious on Christmas, and he's like, I'm gonna follow them around. He goes into, like, the cargo hold, or where the, I don't know, something, not cargo hold, but, like, where the...
Oh, the luggage sorting.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, you guys got ID? And they're like, yeah, it's right here. And then they start shooting at him, which I'm like, no. I'm like, okay.
I love
like,
that they did oh, God.
What, baby?
I'm not able to speak. They did the thing of like, yeah, I got it right here. And they both turn around. And
yeah. But I was like, this is so fucking unbelievable that they have, like, bombs, like, all this tech, like, they're like they have all these guns, all this tech. They are patching and they didn't even make a shitty fake ID. I'm like, you're not even bothering to try.
They've thought of everything.
Yeah, it's like
Just one thing they didn't count on.
Someone asking for ID.
John McClane. He don't play by rules.
It was just like, I was like, what? You didn't think anyone would ask you what? That was where I was like, that was like 5 minutes in, and I was like, no. But William Sadler turning the TV off. Do you remember?
Yes.
When he's like doing Tai Chi in front of with his dick out.
Naked Tai Chi, which is a video cassette I'm sure I rented at some point. And then he reaches for his ID and turns around with the remote control to turn off the TV like he's shooting it dead.
Fucking loved it. Dear William Sadler, I love you.
Yeah.
Don't ever stop being you.
It's too bad you run Section 30.
Yeah. I know. I was like, there's so many Star Trek is so expansive that every single movie we watch has someone from Star Trek in it, which is so exciting.
Fuck Kevin Bacon. 1 degree of separation.
Legit.
Just kidding. Don't fuck Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, don't do that.
I mean, you could. I'm not opposed to you doing that.
No, don't do it. Don't do
I
it.
just mean, I got nothing against the guy. I like him. I'm kind of fond of him.
I don't want you to fuck him because I think he and Kira Sedgwick make a great couple.
They're really
so
sweet.
just like leave him alone.
I didn't watch any of them because I knew I wouldn't enjoy the music, but I did appreciate that they were doing.
Yeah.
They would play music during.
I wonder if that's what people say about us
during the pandemic. I guess
I didn't watch it because I didn't think I'd enjoy.
I imagine.
But I love that they're doing this.
I liked him. I just don't like anything they make. You know.
That's why people love our podcast. They just don't want to listen to it.
Right.
This is so sweet.
I gotta pee.
Okay.
There's a new way to treat hemorrhagic encephalitis. Draw a clock.
Do you see?
Yeah, so everybody gets 1 million one-liners in this movie.
Oh my god.
Every single character.
I just
before we get too far, like it matters, but
yeah.
I will say that fight scene
that
happens in the luggage sorting, luggage sorting room. The first fight he has with Vondi Curtis Hall and his amazing flat top fade. I don't know if it's a fade. It's a flat top. Great hair is my point.
Yeah.
Jesus. Why am I being racist? For no reason. It actually got me. I was like, ooh, like, they're throwing each other into shit, and I'm like, ow. I'm like, it was actually convincing to me. That's the last time anything felt that way in this film. There's also a pattern I noticed of like lots of action and then cut to one of our main characters getting bandaged. Another sequence of action and then somebody's getting their wounds tended to. Yeah. Art Evans' character, it happens like 2-3 times. You see him, his same wound is getting rebandaged.
They're like, bro, it keeps bleeding. I think you need to go to the ER. He's like, nah, I'm with McLean.
Yep. I gotta decrypt the radio tower that got blown up. Now I gotta use radios. Oh, it's a beacon now.
Yeah, this is a thing that, like, I don't like it in movies now.
Yeah.
And I really don't like it in movies back then. When there's technobabble.
Oh, also remember how everybody says sit rep?
What the fuck does that mean?
Situation report, I believe.
Why? John Leguizamo's in this for 4.5 seconds.
Yep.
Apparently he was supposed to be in it for a lot longer, but the filmmakers didn't realize how short he was, so they cut his stuff significantly and dubbed over his one line. Personally, this is controversial. I fucking love John Leguizamo, and I think he's really hot.
I like him in films.
I think he's a really great actor, and if you've ever seen Romeo and Juliet, he's so fucking hot in that movie.
Superfly.
He's so fucking hot in that movie. I think he's fucking hot, like, whenever, but, like, he's so fucking hot. Romeo and Juliet.
I find him hottest in Spawn.
Shut the fuck up.
A lot of people will say The Pest, but I go with Spawn. Spawn, number 1. Number 2, Moulin Rouge. 3 is The Pest. 4 is this movie. 5 is Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet's high school reunion.
What about
6 is his most recent stand-up special from a few years ago.
To Wong Fu not on that list?
I have not seen it.
We should watch it.
Okay.
I remember it being. Beth Grant is in it.
Okay.
That's a reason to watch it. And it's
Swayze.
Honestly, I really. I don't know. I haven't watched it in probably like 15 years or something. I haven't watched it in a very long time. But that was like a movie that like my mom loves, and she always gets the title wrong. Because it's Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar, and she always says Tu Wong Fu, thanks for the memories, Julie Newmar.
Yeah, that's some shit my mom would do.
Like, what is that? I do that stuff now, and it makes me absolutely hate myself. Like, I'll get a line, just one word wrong, and I'm like, fuck me. God damn it, I'm old. Anyway.
I don't.
Anyway.
I always remember everything perfectly.
It's true.
Movie titles?
People's names?
Actors?
My favorite is when there's an actor and you say, who am I thinking of? For 2 reasons. One, because you've called that actor the wrong name, or like you think that they're in something that they weren't in or something. And then you'll ask me their name, and then 2, it's like I don't remember names. I'm so bad at names.
Oh yeah, we're the best combo for this.
Who am I thinking of? If I knew, I couldn't tell you.
Which reminds me of
Robert Patrick is in this, and I think Robert
Barely.
Patrick is. I know he dies way too soon.
correct
And
falsely.
Stupid, shitty fucking way. Like,
Stupid death.
whatever. Fuck you, Die Hard 2 people. Like, Robert Patrick should have had his dick out throughout the entire film.
Yeah, should have been him in the opening sequence.
No, it should have been both of them. They should have been
That's
doing
true.
dick slap,
Yeah.
Tai Chi shit in the
I feel like
bedroom.
they have a physical.
Yeah.
What? No, a similar physical aesthetic.
Robert Patrick has, he's so fucking hot,
Yeah.
but his ears look like he
got
has,
that
like,
one
little
ear
bat
that's-
wings
Yeah, yeah.
on the fucking
I love
sides of his head, and it just adds to it. He's
Yeah.
it gives him just enough nerd,
Yeah.
nerdiness that he gets 11 points hotter. You're just like, okay.
I just
And
assume.
I feel like he's aged pretty okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is the thing. I found this out like a couple years ago, and this literally blew my mind. That he is the brother of the lead singer in Filter.
Oh, no.
I was like, what?
That's right. You told me that.
What? Which only blew my mind because...
I think he's someone that started kind of late in life, too, to acting.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean,
maybe.
Relatively.
Like, Filter is like a band that I listened to all the time when I was a teenager. And Terminator 2 is a movie that I watched all the time growing up. And to find out that they are connected in the weirdest way, like, by relation and... What?
How about that?
Yeah, anyway. Will Sasso is in this movie playing Dennis Franz.
I wish. Dennis Franz is playing Dennis Franz in the movie.
That's simple. I'll just shut the area down. Yeah. And I got everybody from the Shriners Convention to the goddamn Boy Scouts traipsing through here. I got lost kids, lost dogs, not now, later. I got international diplomats. I got a fucking reindeer flying in here from the fucking petting zoo. But John McClane, he's got a little problem. Hell, let's shut down the whole fucking airport.
Yeah. Will Sasso on Mad TV playing Dennis Franz is so fucking hilarious to me. It's
look that shit up.
so, oh God. It's like Mad TV is very Mad TV is like, they went, they didn't have the same constraints that Saturday Night Live did.
Or a lot of other better
they
shows.
didn't have much of an audience, so they could get away with a lot of shit. But Will Sasso being like 6'5" and trying to play Dennis Franz is the fucking funniest thing. I laughed so fucking hard every time they would do.
I wonder, yeah, you showed me that a few years ago. Oh, it's good stuff. I wonder about people like Franz who have played cops for the majority of their career, and their career is like 40 years plus of pretending to be a cop. Like also G.W. Bailey,
Yeah.
comedic
Right.
actor, but
right.
always playing a cop or like a military person. I'm like, at some point, do you start to believe that you are like...
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I saw this thing where Mariska Hargitay was talking about how, like, you know, she's on SVU, Law and Order SVU.
Oh, yeah.
And she said that, like, like something I don't remember what the circumstance is, but, like, she'd been playing a cop for a couple of years on TV. I think this was, like, a long time ago, so it wasn't even, you know, she hadn't even been doing it for 20 plus years like she has now. But, like, someone, like, collapsed or something, and she was like, I just, like, went into full, like, full Olivia Benson, where I was like, someone get the cops on the phone, and blah, 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 give him, and she was like, I just, like, took over.
Set a perimeter.
Yeah, she was like giving everyone orders and shit, and she was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah. See, that's where I wonder if it's dangerous.
I think it's fine, because I think in certain circumstances, I think, like, so many people don't know what to do, and they'll just stand around and, like, crowd a person.
No, that's true.
So I feel like if there is an emergency, as long as someone is saying call 911 or whatever, and saying get away from this person and call 911, then it's fine, honestly. Like, just fucking...
You know, a lot of those shows actually have, like, they bring in...
Right.
people to consult who
Right.
do some version of actual training.
Yeah. having witnessed like an actual crime scene, I know that like truly the thing that you would need like the most is someone just being. Now I would be like, get the fuck away from the person with a stab wound. Please stop standing over him in your white dress saying, "Sir, can you look at me, sir? Sir, 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 look at me, sir."
Who are you calling out right now?
Sir. The lady in the white dress that stood over a man with several stab wounds, trying to get him to acknowledge her. And when he started choking to death, I'm not kidding, when he started choking to death on his own blood, she said,
"Focus."
No, she said, "Oh, he's responding. He's going to be fine." He died moments later. That bitch did not know what she was talking about. And I was like, she was literally wearing like heels, had a shawl on, and a white dress. And she was like, "Sir, can you look at me, sir?
Did you come from a wedding party?
She was standing over him. She had like she was
like straddled.
Yes, standing over him, not getting close enough to get dirty, mind you, but standing above him, holding her shawl and going, "Sir, sir, sir, can you look at me, sir? Sir, 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 can you look at me, sir? Sir, 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 sir." Oh, he's fine. He literally, I was like, that man is, and I was like, I didn't want to crowd because I'm like, I don't know. Like, this is like, and people were like being so fucking weird. And I'm just like, I don't know. I was like just overwhelmed. And I was like, he is not responding to you. He is like convulsing. She's like, he's going to be fine. It's fine. We can all stop worrying. And then he died immediately after. Another episode of Z talks about trauma and makes it funny. It's called... Anyway, Dennis Franz in this movie just says fuck. He just says fuck.
Get the fuck out of here.
He literally says that line. He literally says, "Get the fuck out of here."
I like that no one does it. I mean, it's mostly a John McClane, but
he's just constantly like, "What the fuck are you fucking doing in fucking here? You fucking fuck?" And that's all Dennis Franz says.
You would think he's Harvey Keitel in a Scorsese movie, right?
Fucking Dennis Franz wishes.
Well,
he wishes he had a schlong like that. I'm talking about the piano.
He wishes he had a piano schlong.
He wishes he had a piano to play with his schlong. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, my
chopsticks.
My impression of him, though. Should I do that?
Go ahead.
He was just like saying the dumbest shit to comedian,
like everyone else,
to comedian Bruce Willis, in the movie, and I just yelled out, what was it? "I piss shit for you." Wait, what was it? Can you say it? "I piss shit for you like like you. What? I piss shit like you for breakfast every day, right?
The Legend of Curly's Gold.
Why was that so hard? "I piss shit like you for breakfast every day." Maybe I didn't say every day.
I piss shit.
"I piss shit like you for breakfast," and you can just
shit
cut out all the rest.
For you like breakfast.
I was just like, what the fuck? He was just so fucking mad immediately.
It's a nonstop stream. Did you see in the trivia that the guy who played...
Was that the theme song for IMDb?
That's the placeholder for... Which fingers does that rhythm land on?
Oh, it's the pinky. No, it's the index finger.
The guy who played the head of air traffic control, the tall Texan guy.
Yeah, from Law and Order fame.
Sure. Apparently, it was like brought up, raised concern about all the fuck words in it.
And they said, "Get the fuck out of here."
Basically.
Also, how many like innuendos are in this movie? The way that they're talking about like the villain, they're just like, I'd put his penis in my mouth for $100. Scratch the last part, and you're like, what?
So you do it for free?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, wait, what?
No,
he
literally.
Said, we're here to jerk off that cocksucker. That's what he says about the bad guy, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, John Amos says that.
Yeah, we're here to jerk off that cocksucker, and I'm like. I full on like had that like loading like buffering moment where I was like, what did he just I'm like, no, I misheard that, and then I was like, what I didn't what we're here to put his dick in our mouths and swallow at the end. Like, what?
We're here to finger that gay man.
We're here to put our finger in his asshole and massage his prostate while we suck his dick until he comes a load in our mouth, and then we're gonna swallow, and then we're gonna pray that those planes land on time. You're like, what? What?
I stand corrected. Fred Thompson was born in Alabama.
Oh my God, you sound like such an idiot. You said Texas.
Yeah, I was really convinced he had a Texas accent and that I could tell. So joke's on me.
And that I could tell. Old Bama.
I don't even know. I guess we're 43 minutes in already, so I was like, I don't know what else to say about this movie. It's all
the part who's the guy in it that was also from Real Genius?
William Atherton.
William Atherton. I did not really understand the point of his character at all.
Correct.
His character, this is the thing that's like so weird. His character is there to break the news that there's a terrorist.
To leak the news to the press that.
And like he's like, yes. And they're like, you piece of shit. And I'm like, wait, what? And everyone like, I don't know. He gets like punched out. He has a restraining order against Holly Gennaro McLean. And which I only know because I've seen that episode of Bob's Burgers.
Correct.
And he like at the end she like punches him in the fucking face. And you said the brilliant line. You were like, she's gonna get in a lot of trouble. He has a fucking restraining order, and she punched. She tases
him, doesn't he?
Does she? I don't know.
She gets the lady's taser.
But she like busts
Chekhov's
through the bathroom to do it. Like she like literally like
clearly violates.
Yes, she 100% violates a restraining order. But at the beginning, like all the stewardesses hate him,
right?
And he is like, I can't sit anywhere near that woman.
He means he's filed a restraining order against me. I'm not allowed within 50 feet of him.
50 yards. So, by keeping me in this section, you are violating a court order. I can sue you and this airline. That woman assaulted me, and she humiliated me in public.
What did you do? Knocked out 2 of his teeth. Would you like some champagne?
Which I thought was kind of cute. Also, they're like, he's like, I want first class seats. And then they put him in coach, and then everyone's getting champagne. And I'm like, that's not, I don't think that's coach.
I know.
I don't know, but I don't think I don't think I've ever been offered champagne in the poor people seats that I've always sat in. I mean,
well, it was 1990. It is the 90s, remember?
It's true. Holly told me I should
also, it's pre-9/11.
Oh, it's true. Holly told me I should wake up and smell the 90s. That's a quote.
Yes. Good one.
What? Like Dennis Franz, and I mean this is Dennis Franz because I've seen him in this and I've seen Will Sasso playing him, so I'm pretty well versed on all the things Dennis Franz
I've studied all aspects of his.
And he's just like, I mean, not just how he plays this, but like it's just like he is literally the epitome of every trope of every asshole jerk cop.
Yeah.
Like sleazeball. Like he's literally just like, if they were like, how do we make everyone hate his guts? And they were like, and everyone that came up with an idea, they used them all. Yeah, they were just like, okay. It's like, what?
He's, he's mildly corrupt. Mm-hmm. He gets called a oh my God, what's the word? Bureaucrat. He curses like a fucking ashtray. He's just inept. He's portrayed as being inept because he's not listening to fucking John McClane, who just shows up and is like, hey.
Who's doing everything? He's doing everything. Like, he's, like, busting into all these places, like, disobeying direct orders, like, all this shit. And they're like, John McClane's the guy for us. We gotta jerk his dick off, too. Like, it's so confusing.
We gotta cocksuck this jerk off right into his face. His ass is grass.
Does anyone have a pair of titties? We need to titty fuck this guy away.
Does anybody have
a pair of titties?
Are there a pair of titties in the house?
Can someone?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage.
Pair of titties in the house.
John McClane changes coats a lot.
Oh my God! What did you call it?
I said jacket of all trades. You thought it was funny. I'm on the fence, but I
only because literally every time you see him, there's a jacket involved. Like him changing.
It's a major plot point.
It is. I'm not kidding. Like him.
The janitor gives him his coat,
but doesn't just give him. He's like they haggle over the coat. Yeah. Like he stuffs his coat in the wing to fuck up, and then they throw the jacket on at him. And he's got a blanket as a jacket. He's got a fireman's jacket as a jacket. Yeah. He has a different person's jacket as a jacket. He has a different jacket as a jacket. At the end
of the movie, he's just wearing Holly Gennaro over his shoulders.
No, her hair. He just takes her hair off and puts it around him, and he says, "Yeah, it's my wife." Keith was very convinced.
I was until the very end.
Keith was 100% certain that they did not film any scenes together. I mean, they only filmed they had minutes of screen time.
I did say
together.
Before. I mean, I doubled down too hard is what happened. But early in the movie, I was like, I bet they didn't shoot any scenes together except for the very one scene at the end, which is basically true.
Oh,
but
no, that's 100%
I did
true.
Go too hard because
he
once she finally lands and they're like,
right, they're doing
the way it's shot. The way
it's shot weird, but he was convinced that they had doubles because they only. It's so funny when you adjust that.
No one will notice. Meanwhile, in the recording, it's like.
Who would play her?
Transform.
Hello.
Are you an ace bandage?
Can you tell when, we obsess? I like that we collectively obsess over things and just insert it into our lives. Like, while we were watching The Closer, you just said, thank you, and every fucking podcast episode.
Oh, yeah, before that, it was, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
And now we're just going to be doing quotes. If you know, you know.
I like to commit to a bit.
I'm saying I like it. I wasn't making fun. I was saying I like that we could do this.
I wasn't saying you were saying anything.
Don't talk to me. If you're going to talk to me, you just close your mouth. Do you get that hair out of your teeth?
There it is.
Did I ever tell you? We're going to end on this.
Your mom?
My friend was shaming me for having. I had a lot of animals growing up, and so there was cat hair in my house, and I got so pissed at her because she said that there was a cat hair in her mouth. And you know those 90s fuzzy shirts that people would have, the full on fuzzy
like polar fleece.
But more so, it was
with
troll hair shirts. She was like, there's a cat hair in my mouth. So she took her shirt and wiped her tongue with her fuzzy troll hair shirt. And she was like, I have to get it off my tongue. And I got so fucking livid. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? We were 9 or something. I mean, she was 7 and I was 9. I was like, you're an idiot. I was so fucking livid with her. It's weird that we're not still friends anymore.
Yeah.
Mainly because I said trans rights and she said, I disagree. And I said, fuck you. And then she said, sorry that 20 years ago I said that I didn't believe that gay people would go to heaven.
We're real. Oh.
And I said, honey, that's not why I unfriended you. fix yourself. And she never responded.
And she said, turn into freaking frogs gay. I enjoyed John Amos's presence in this movie. It was, again, too short and underutilized, I felt like.
Who's he?
He's the leader of the Commandos.
Yeah. I like when he's like, the one dude was like, I wish I'd been there. And he was like, me too. So I wouldn't have to do this. And then he just slit his throat.
And then pops a piece of fucking gum into his mouth.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful scene.
That's one of my favorites.
He was like,
yeah. Oh.
Bro.
That is the coolest shit that happens in this movie.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Fuck anything John McClane does.
That was second only to William Sadler's. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I was disappointed. There's like a full-on mirror in front of him, and his ding-dong does not make a single appearance.
Oh, man.
William Sadler, if you're out there, just show us
Did
your
you
ding-dong.
see that he... maybe the admin to his official fan club will start following.
You sound like a bitch.
The Sisto is watching. That he, once he found out that it was going to be a fully nude scene, he asked that be filmed last, and then he spent like 2-3 months with a trainer to get in shape.
Aw, that's so sweet.
But it paid off.
Tip top shape.
Just the tip
bro.
top.
Yeah, bro. He didn't do a spray tan on his boo-hiney, though.
Boo-hiney.
Boo-hiney, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, anyway, William Sadler, good job. You did great. This movie kind of sucks.
Yeah, you know what
I mean, it's fine. It's a fine movie.
You know what I was reminded of in this... Oh, go on.
I will say, I personally think that the kills in this were pretty gory. And they were pretty satisfying. Like, he shoves a fucking icicle in someone's eye.
That was a good one. That was a good
pretty
one.
Good.
Yeah, there's some nice moments. It tries too much. It's too ambitious,
for sure,
I think.
For sure.
Also, it suffers from... This is how it reminded me of Face Off. It just starts out at a 10, so there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And it ebbs and flows a little bit, but only the action is broken up again, just with people getting bandages put on them.
Right. And like...
And John Leguizamo getting dubbed over.
Yeah. I love you, John Leguizamo. Yeah. Yeah. Would you recommend?
As always, with caveats, or with qualifiers, I should say. It's not really a caveat. It's like, it's good.
I think it's a good holiday movie. I think.
Yeah, I would say it's good to put on the background if you got
if your friends
a bunch of people in the house,
or even if you're just like, I want to make a hot toddy and like and put the Christmas tree lights on maximum.
Sure.
And then just like put something on that while I have sex with myself or whatever. This is the movie for you.
We're here to jack off this
cocksucker. Yeah. With all the fuck words, like it's close to a porno. Like it's there's more fuck words than a porno has ever had. And I've seen them all.
It's also 2 hours long, so
yeah.
I feel like you could probably come up with some really interesting drinking games around this movie.
Oh my god. Don't drink every time they say fuck, though.
No.
You will die. You will die.
They have to be more creative than that.
Yes.
Things like sit rep, anytime someone changes jackets.
Yes. Yeah. Anytime someone's accent changes for no reason. What's happening?
Sadler, looking at you.
I know. I like he's doing the voice when he's like making Cole Meany crash his plane. He's like, all right, now come on down here. And then suddenly he's like, you're doing great. And I'm like, William, you're better than this.
Are you supposed to be a different person?
Yeah, you're better than this.
Anytime a fax is mentioned, like clearly that was meant to be cutting edge technology.
Anytime someone dies in a way that makes no sense
as a result of a fax machine.
Yeah.
Anyway, dies and it makes no sense. Come on, that's
like
every
Robert Patrick almost said Robert Pattinson.
Close.
Robert Patrick.
I bet they're in a movie together.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. I want to watch Robert Patrick was in a film last year.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That I want to watch.
Yeah,
if we can get a hold of it. It's called What Eli Saw or something.
Something like that.
Looked pretty interesting.
I like Robert Patrick. I think he's aged pretty well
good.
too.
He's aged. He looks great.
I know. I think he's so fucking hot in Terminator 2, though. When he's like,
come on.
When he says, "Call to John," I'm like, fucking say that to my pussy. Sorry, my bussy.
Sorry, my bee's chussy.
Say that to my bee's chussy, Robert Patrick.
Say that to my wamper while I'm shitting in the bathroom.
One time there was someone when I was a person that had a desk job and I would answer the phone. There was a guy that would call, and I hated him.
By your name?
No, I did not like him. It was for probably petty reasons, but he annoyed the shit out of me. And part of it was that I would say like, "Oh, so like department that I work at, this is Z. How can I help you?" And I wouldn't say, "How can I help you?" I would just, because I refused to say that. I would just say, "Department, this is Z." And he would say, "Hello," every time. And I hung up with him one time, and I was like, I fucking hate the way that guy says hello. He's like, "Hello." And I want to be like, "Is that how you talk to your wife's pussy?" And everyone was like, "Z."
Right, because it's outrageous because that guy does not speak to any vaginas.
You were like, "Oh my God." I was like, "I'm being serious." That's how I insult someone. Is that how you talk to your wife's pussy?
I quite literally flew into a rage one time because this was way back in the 90s, so I was
you were like 12.
Far 13. From being medicated or, having addressed anything to do with mental health. But in a retail context, there was this is the New Age bookstore that I worked at. We had a regular customer, and he had written a book that we stocked. He'd written a kid's book. But he would come in and he'd, come in and want to hang out and shoot the shit. Ugh. And but which was fine. But if you ever asked him if he wanted a bag, he would just always say, "No, I got one waiting in the car." Mm-hmm. And I knew this about him, and then I walked into it one day, and as soon as he left, I started, throwing shit around, and I was so mad. 1997.
You know what I miss about food service, about working food service?
Nothing?
I miss a customer coming in and complaining about the lack of food that's on the menu, making you make something very special specifically for them, especially when it's like a cafe or something that doesn't specialize in food. Like the specialty is coffee. They just happen to have food items. And they like talk to you for like 20 minutes at the counter, and it's like not a slow day. So
and
you're
then
like
they buy you a home because they're so grateful.
Right. And then they don't even tip you. And then they continue to come up and ask for like special things. Can you fill up my water? Can you do it? I'm just letting you know that your water thing is low. Thanks. We have a line out the door. You can fuck off. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah,
Thank
drink
you.
your own urine if you're so desperate.
Go to the fucking bathroom sink.
There's a lake down the street.
There's a puddle outside.
There's a dry riverbed that you can suck on.
No, I really hate. Yeah. Also, just people like. No, I mean, like, whatever. Some people are like, I love it. I'm not meant for this stuff. But when, like, people want to talk to you while you're working, don't do that.
Get the fuck out of my face.
When you're, like, I one time was, like, sweeping the cafe, and this woman stopped me to complain about narcissists. A lot of self-awareness there. It was like a good 20 minutes that I was like sweeping the same spot while she talked about how horrible narcissists were. I was like,
next week we'll be talking about setting boundaries and maintaining them.
Anyway, yeah. Die Hard 2. Merry Christmas. It's a movie set in Christmas. Set in Christmas. Not on or around. In
the air above.
What?
I got a fucking reindeer coming in. R.I.P. Dennis Franz.
Wait, did he die?
Not that I'm aware of.
Hey, Santa Claus, you want to make me happy this year? Listen to me, honey. Give Pearl something that'll be of some use to me, like a 5-pound box of money. Now there's a little gift. It's loaded with lots of sentiment. See, whenever I get blue, Santa, I'm gonna think of you. But at the same time, that will change to pay my rent, you see? Now, money isn't everything. There's no two ways about it. But while we're here, Santa dear, it's much better with than without it. So, really, I could be real good.